All right, you guys, thank you so much for talking to us. We're here at the Satellite with Graham Rabbit. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great. Excited to play.
Very cool. Very cool. So you guys have kind of been on the scene for a little while, but for anyone who may not quite be familiar with your band, give us a little bit of history. How long have you been together, and how did you guys form this project?
I think we've been together maybe going on a decade.
Wow.
You know, we're a nice chunk of a decade here. And Todd and I met out in Joshua Tree through like a cosmic happening. That's too long to explain. But
like late 2000s.
It doesn't matter. And we met out there, and you know, we found a mutual respect in our ideas of sonic madness, and we
nicely put.
Thank you. And we just built upon it, and we met Ethan here, this badass producer who has produced all of our records, and also joined the band like on our third record, I think. And we've just been going for it ever since. He's in LA, Todd and I still reside out in the desert, and yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Very cool. So now, through your kind of decade-long experience here, what has been the main inspiration, really, for your type of music, and what makes you write the way that you do?
Well, I think just first off, Jess and I met in Joshua Tree in the desert, and the band, you know, formed. Our original ideas formed out there. And both of us coming from the city, Jess from LA and me from San Francisco, when we met up there.
Although I'm actually originally from Wisconsin, I'm not a city girl at all.
I grew up in the country too myself, but leaving.
Maybe that explains it. We're country people that tried to go city and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then this was created, right?
Yeah. We're a great combination of the country and the city, like.
Both of us were frustrated with trying to get music going.
And we're still frustrated.
City life, and getting out to the desert and in the middle of nowhere just, I think, really freed up our minds to go down paths that we probably wouldn't have if we had stayed in the city. And I think that has to do with all these different styles and ideas that we bring into our music. It's kind of expansive, kind of like, you know, the desert is, and there's also not really any scenes out in the desert, so you don't feel the pressure to write
conform
within like, you know, a particular scene. So it just frees you up. So whatever idea comes into your head, you're not afraid to chase down.
I also think, like, even if we didn't live out there, we probably would be like that anyway. Like, I've always kind of been a bit of a chameleon. Like, I like all different styles of music. Like, I grew up playing, like, taking classical piano lessons, and, you know, I was into pop music, and I was into, like, Woodstock and punk, like, everything. It's hard for me to settle into one particular style, and I don't feel like I need to or have to. And I think, and Ethan, like, when we met him, like, I think he appreciated that about our sound, and he felt the same way, and, like, it was refreshing to him, and it was refreshing for us to meet him and to understand that we didn't need to be just one specific thing. Like, you know, like, life is short, and, like, we've got a lot of ground to cover, and, like, why do we have to sound like one thing our entire lives? Like, why can't we be all of these different things? And every record can be a little different, and it's as being an artist, like, it's great for us. Like, I don't want to do the same record twice. I don't want to do the same song twice, and it might confuse people sometimes, but our true fans get it, and they love that about us.
Yeah, and it's fantastic when you can meet people that you really click with, and you can really grow creatively like that. Absolutely. Very cool. So in your career, you guys have had a lot of success, you know, film, TV, things like that, with, you know, all the music that's been produced. What have been some of the highlights and, you know, some of the great things that you can say have come from this project?
I mean, obviously we had some amazing public performances, got to do Coachella, we've been able to do some other great things, be in films, and amazing, and you know, this band was born in a living room, you know, in a small place in the desert, and has gone to other places, but always there was like a permission and a mandate to be able to do whatever you want to do, and that's translated to being able to do like films and big concerts.
I mean, right, our latest thing is one of our songs is in a Fruit of a Loom commercial. I mean, talk about, like, diverse, like,
yeah, would
like,
you ever have thought?
We're selling underwear, you know? You know, Yeah. I mean, and one of the major motion pictures we're in with Crazy Stupid Love, our song Lost in Places and that. John Cusack was a fan and put us in his movie War Inc. So we've had this expansiveness in like, the film and television world, which is awesome. It's a good validation that, people with
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's kept us going.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know. How does that feel? Is it like surprising on some level, or?
I mean, it's always exciting, especially for Todd and I living out kind of in the middle of nowhere, and we turn on, our TV, and all of a sudden our song's playing on some Gossip Girl. We weren't on Gossip Girl, but something like that. And it's very surreal. We look around, our neighbors are 200 yards away, and our songs on TV. It's bizarre. And, we love it. It helps us keep going, and it helps validate us in some ways. In other ways, there's other things that we'd like to still amount to. We have a long ways to go, but at the same time, we're lifers, and this is what we do, and we've got great fans. We have actually very scary fans. Some of our,
very loyal,
some stalker, loyal, borderline stalker, but hey, I mean, they like us.
Loving stalker. It's with love.
Loving stalkers up till this point,
And I think they may go by a certain name, a certain nickname for their fan base.
Our fan base is called the Royal Order of Rabbits.
There it is.
The ROR.
The ROR. Very cool. So now, this upcoming year, 2013, is there anything in particular that we all need to keep our eyes out for?
Yes, we're about to release. It should have been out by now. It's going to be out any day. I think Moheak already has it because we love Moheak. Our new EP called Braised and Confused, and I'm really excited about it. I think it really blends our style. It's very rock and roll. It's very dancey. It's a little psychedelic. It's trippy. It's really I think it's the best of Grand Rabbit. And we'll just continue to write. And we're also about to go on a full U.S. tour with the band Spindrift, great band that we love. We're doing March 7th till April 7th. We'll be out in the U.S., so look for us across the states.
And what can people expect to see when they come to see Grand Rabbit live?
It's hard to say. Some things we don't plan, but sometimes we have more theatrics than others. Sometimes it's just our band, going for it, and it's the bare essentials. Other times we have crazy rabbit dancers and projections. It just depends on who's available that night. But either way, we like to put a party on stage. We want it to be exciting. We don't want to just get up there and play our songs. We want to unite the fans within our music, and we want to be entertainers and musicians.
And be moving. I think that over thousands of years, people have seeked out the desert and gone out there for, soul searching and different spiritual, experiences that you don't get somewhere else. And we've been lucky to, this band to form out there and have gone through some of those experiences ourselves, which I think is kind of transferred into our music. So in a way, I think we can bring some of that energy to the cities, the desert energy that people might read about, wanting to go on an excursion to the desert and see what it's all about. We, through our music, hopefully bring some of that to the city and give some of the people some of that experience and what it does to your head.
Yeah, that's amazing. So fans can expect an awakening.
Let's hope.
An awakening. That's right. Very nice. Well, you guys definitely have a spectacular live show. We at Moheak are, we just love you guys, and it's awesome to be able to have a minute to chat with you guys. We're excited to see you tonight, and thank you so much for giving us a minute of your time.
Thank you. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Bob Dole.